Air France will now begin flying to Iran again. They stopped flying to Iran after 2008, but they've decided to continue flying to the country after the negotiations over Iran's nuclear deal. Now, with that said, Air France has decided to allow female flight attendants to abstain from flying there because of the reason that they don't want to wear headdresses or headscarves. And obviously, if you're a woman, it's very difficult to hide it if you're traveling to a country like Iran. Now, with that said, gay flight attendants are now speaking up and saying that they feel uncomfortable flying to the country. And so they have created a petition to get Air France to also exempt them from such flights. Now, while the union is sensitive to the problem of LGBT stewards not wanting to fly to Iran, making special assignments based on sexual preferences, skin color, or religion is not acceptable for our union, says the head or the secretary general of the union representing these flight attendants. So they're basically making the statement, and I'm not sure I agree with this, that as a gay individual, it's not obvious that you're gay. So you can hide the fact that you're gay when you travel to a country like Iran, okay?
Well, I am sure about it. I think this is not the kind of unions I'm used to. Here in America, the union you hear most about is the cops union. A cop could shoot someone in the face for nothing at all, and the union will come out and be like, he blinked the wrong way. Okay, he had it coming. Here, gay employees are saying, if I'm caught in Iran, I might be executed.
Exactly.
And the union's like, yeah, whatever. Okay. Yeah, oh, now we made an exception for women. Now I got to represent you, our gay employees. Now they have a fig leaf to go on. They say, we don't want to create a list of gay employees. That might be used in the wrong way. But you don't have to create that list. You could simply create a list of people who want to be exempt from Tehran, from flying to Tehran. Okay. Now, I get that that's a pain in the ass. I get that, that's a logistical issue, and it's going to have costs, etc. But if they might get executed in that country, I'm going to have to ask you to go through an extra layer of, whatever you want to call it, burdensome, not a regulation, but a list. And yes, some people might abuse it. They might not be gay and put themselves on that list because they don't want to fly to Iran. Okay, that's the price we pay for not getting our gay employees executed in the wrong place.
Yeah, and by the way, Iran absolutely does execute people for being gay. In fact, last year, 966 people were executed in Iran, mostly for drug offenses. 4 of them were minors, according to the UN. So people get executed for minor things like drug offenses. They even kill children for minor offenses. So I don't think it's really safe to allow gay flight attendants to travel to the country. If they don't feel safe, it's the company's duty to keep them as safe as possible.
So, by the way, the union guy, again, one of the worst union representatives I've seen, says for a gay person, nobody knows that he's gay. Okay, when one steward is holding the hand of another steward in the streets, it's his choice.
By the
Dude,
way,
don't say that, man. Don't say he had it coming in Iran if he's just being who he is. So, look, they say, well, now this could apply to other countries. In Nigeria, they have certain laws against homosexuality. In Saudi Arabia, they're also considering making an offense merits execution, and it's certainly illegal right now. In Saudi Arabia, they're thinking of executing anyone who declares online that they are gay. I hope they don't come here and try to enforce that, but you never know with Saudi Arabia. They've come here before.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, this is not a hard question. I don't know why they think it's a hard question.
Yeah, it's not like 50% of their flight attendants are gay and this is going to be a logistical nightmare, right? I'm guessing that this is only going to impact a few people, and if they feel uncomfortable traveling to a country where they might get executed if their sexual orientation is revealed, well, then again, it is the airline's responsibility to keep them safe.
The last thing that it drives me crazy about this is the argument that, hey, cultural relativism. So now, if you want to blame all Persians, then I'm going to fight against you, right? Because it's their government. It's their fundamentalist government that's in charge now. The Persians here in LA don't feel this way, right? If you want to blame all Muslims, we can get back into that mess, right? Well, there's many different kinds of Muslim governments. They don't all agree with Iran and Saudi Arabia. And again, the people of those countries don't necessarily agree. It's their dictatorial governments that impose this. And no, there's different interpretations. But if you want to argue against the culture, then I'm going to lead that parade. Because if the culture says, yes, we should execute people for this crime of being gay, Well, okay, then they have, whoever is championing that has raised their hand and said, I'm in that camp.
Yeah.
Well, I'm fighting against that camp, okay? And so don't give me cultural relativism bullshit. And like they do here also with the Christian right, right? Certainly they do it sometimes in the case of Islam. And here in America, you've got the Ted Cruz, who was asked today or the other day, hey, it was a gay Republican. It seems like you're not going to fight for me, right? And Cruz is like, no, no, no. Religious tolerance, the tolerance to discriminate against you, right? Now, in this case, okay, well, I mean, are you going to judge the culture that says you should be executed? Yes, I'm going to judge that culture.
Yeah.
See, we have a slight difference of opinion. I think I should be alive. They think I should be executed. You'll excuse me if I'm not tolerant of that strand of culture, okay? Yep. I'm not tolerant of it, and I'm not going there.